All right, we got a full room again. You're all the same crazy group that was just here, weren't you, for the read? Was anyone not here for the read?
Yeah.
If someone's raising their hand right now, punch them. You missed the best hour and a half of this whole show. Now you have to watch it on YouTube and say, I'm the idiot who didn't make the show. Everyone that was here, let's hear it. They're going to bring them out loud, nice and loud. A Q&A. You have the Q's, they have the A's. There's a mic set up right here for questions. I cannot promise you we'll get to all of them. We're going to do our best. I'll just try to hold order because if you get these guys going without a leash, it'll just go on in directions we can't do. Because I see little kids in this room, so we know it's just a little bit less than PG-13. All right, let's bring them out. We have, let's see, let's start on the end with Rob Paulsen, Yakko, and Pinky. Next up, let's bring his sister, the beautiful one. Let's bring out Tress MacNeille. Next up, the younger brother, Wakko, Jess Harnell. We have Rob's other friend. Let's bring out the brain, Maurice LaMarche. Now let's bring out the magic behind the music. We have Randy Rogel in the house, folks. All right. This is the Animaniacs Q&A and Pinky and the Brain. So,
Jeff, before we go any further, I think there's just one thing that Rob and Tress and I need to say to these folks today. It's very important. On a very serious note, you guys. Ready? Count of three. 1, 2, 3. Hello, Atlanta! You gotta do it, man. You gotta do it. It's like peeing.
That's right. So you guys have seen the show. That's good. That's good to know. All right. Question and answer. This is your chance to talk to your childhood, right? That's what you all say.
That's what therapists say too, you guys.
So what we need you to do is, I can see someone back there with their hand up. There's a microphone up here. What
is there a hand
There's no fighting, no pushing, no running. Come up to the microphone nicely. Be kind.
I see myself sitting right there. How you doing? You look great.
Just remember, we're not going to get to everybody. So if someone asks the question you had, just sit down and say thank you.
Right.
All right. Let's start right off with you. Go right ahead. You're first.
During the show earlier, you said this is the first convention you guys have ever done together.
How awesome is that, right?
That is beyond awesome.
And by the way, do you know what? I just got to interject. It's not that we haven't been asked. It's that we were waiting for Atlanta to ask.
Overall, have you guys visited anything that's been going on, and how did you feel about the other types of panels that were going on, if you've seen any of them?
Any place that involves dudes in capes is good with me.
The truth is that when we are fortunate enough to come to one of these things, we're so busy that it's pretty difficult to go and spend time at the other panels. Like this morning, we got up, we did an autograph thing, we had a half an hour for lunch, did the Matrix thing, went back to autograph. Now we're here, and it's impossible usually for us to do that. But we also know a lot of the other performers, and then we get to meet new folks like Dante Bosco. We got to meet Dante this year.
And we get to meet a lot of new friends, which is another nice benefit of the community.
It's great fun though. It's a great show. Did a great job here. Wonderful. Thank you.
All right. The next up, as you guys come up with your questions, if you have them specifically for one or two, that'll make things a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
So if you have it for a certain person, mention that.
But don't feel you have to ask me anything, really. No, really, because I'm learning
Go
a
ahead.
lot.
Okay, well, first off, I just want to say that I admire you guys, not just as actors, but also as human beings, because I'm serious, if lesser people had voiced these characters that pretty much raised an entire generation of children, they they would have been too proud to say, okay, I'll be a 12-second burp in the movie Elf. So,
Bless your heart. Thank you.
just
We love you, man.
Oh, I think you should be
That's very
thanked
sweet.
with a very lovely birthday.
Hey, Mo, give him a 4-second burp right now, dude.
Oh, I'm good. Oh, good.
He can burp. Knock it out. He does it. By the way, this is how Mo gets the chicks. Now that's talent. Come on.
I am so proud of that man.
Now see, you can't do that stuff in LA because we live on a fault line.
But, so anyway, getting to the meat of the matter now.
Every Christmas I get a card from Will Ferrell saying, "Thank you for doing that so I didn't have to."
Well, since I believe in spreading this experience of being in the company of legends, thank you. Well, you're welcome. Moving on. My friend Meg, she's starting college as soon as the summer ends.
Greetings, Meg. Perhaps if you go to college for 72 years, you'll know as much as me. The brain. Yes.
Just to save time, can all three of the Animaniacs just to give her a shout out, just wish her luck? To Meg.
Meg,
Yes.
yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3.
Hello, Meg. Have fun in college.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, thanks for that. Anyone else who wants anything like that or soliloquies, we'll be doing autographs afterwards.
Yeah.
Next up.
Hey, it's me again.
Hi.
Hey, you.
Nice to meet you.
We remember you.
Yeah.
Hallelujah, my brother.
Yes.
I just want to say that you guys are, great. In my childhood, I didn't remember Animaniacs as much, but I just started rewatching the episodes, and they were just really funny to me, and my family just got a little bit closer because I watched the show. And
That's great.
You kind of are an inspiration to me, and voice acting, you make me want to do my own voice acting,
Good.
And also,
God is good.
God is good. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
if it be all right with you, could you at least give a shout out to my sister? She's in Africa right now, so sure.
You're gonna have to shout loud.
Shout out, yeah.
What a wonderful phrase.
Careful, Jones. They've got blowguns. Con gái chết đầu buồn dây đừng quê cho.
The circle of life.
Okay, what's your
your
name?
sister's name?
What? Her name is Kayla.
Okay, cool. It was
Kayla?
Simba.
Yeah. What?
Kayla?
Yes. Her name is Kayla.
Okay.
Right, 1, 2, 3.
Hello, Kayla.
Have fun on safari.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, they were the first two. No more hello anyone's. All right, you guys get it? You want it? You come to the autograph signing afterwards. This is Q&A. Does anyone have any questions?
He's the boss man.
It's fine. Don't greet
That's
me.
my dad.
Hi. It's great to be in.
Hi, how are you? You have a question?
It's great to be in front of so many beautiful people.
We feel the same way, dude. The same, man.
My question is for Rob.
Yeah.
I have a geography final coming up, and I was wondering
It might be an idea, man.
U.S. or?
no, all the countries.
All the countries in the world. It's a shame there's not a song like that, man.
You know, actually, Rob,
It's a darn shame.
if he was
It's a shame Randy Rogel's not here.
piano, so
if he was here last night, you would have heard it.
No, I have to defer to my friend Randy Rogel. There's an interesting story behind that, and Randy can fill this in. But the gist of it is that Randy, and this, we were talking about this a lot today to folks who've been coming up and kind enough to come visit us. And the word, we all say things like, "Wow, that guy's a genius. Wow, that's terrific, man. This guy's a genius." He really kind of is, Randy. You know? Because
That Rob Paulsen is a wise man.
yeah. I mean, but that stuff just, I mean, it was week after week after week after week after week. It was unbelievable. And Randy is still that prolific and more so, 20 years later. But that song, if I'm not, if I'm correct, Randy was helping his boy with geography and said, "Oh, there's a song here. Shut up." Are you kidding me?
He didn't say that to his son.
Crazy. So
he was thinking it though.
we will. I think maybe later I might be able to squeeze out a couple of lines of that, but usually we like to leave that till later.
Okay.
And I'll bet you can't follow it.
Randy, you're a Satan scholar. Oh, thank you all. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, that's usually the showstopper and closer. So if anyone else is asking for that, we'll look at it towards the end.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Hey, Jess, I'm a huge fan of Wakko. He's like the guy I based myself around growing up.
I'm so sorry,
bro.
But,
Wise choice.
And because he doesn't usually wear pants.
True that. But, actually, I was kind of wanting to know, how did you guys get on the show? Like, what was some of your, like, marketing?
He paid somebody off. I can't
How do we get up? How do we get to be the voices on the show?
Yeah.
Oh man, well it was different for all of us. For myself, I went in and I auditioned initially at my agency. They had a bunch of parts for the show, and then
Charity.
Yeah, charity. They said that. Thank you, honey. They said that Steven Spielberg was involved, and I'm like, I heard of him. So they said we could pick a few characters to read. So I read Wakko, and I have no idea exactly what I did. I was just some crazy cartoon voice. But when I went in to do the callback, which is like the second audition, they said, the director, the lovely Andrea Romano, said, "You do a lot of impressions." And I said, "Sure." She said, "Why don't you try like Elvis?" I kid you not, that was it. So it could have been like, "Hey man, I got a potty emergency. I'm gonna tell you, I'm a nurse, that's Babu, man." It would have been a whole different thing, But, so she said, "Well, you do the Beatles. Why don't you try like one of the Beatles?" And, the thing is that I've always done all four of the Beatles. They're different, John's here, and then Paul's here, it's more back in the throats and stuff, and George sounds congested like he had a cold, and Ringo is over at the bottom, they're different,
How about that?
Yeah, it's kind of cool, right? Schizophrenia, folks, schizophrenia. Thank you. So what happened was I did John. I think I just did John. I'm like, oh, we got to the point with Dr. Scratch and Sniff and there's all this going on, But then I saw a picture of Wakko. And he was so little, I'm like, well, he can't have a voice like a big guy. So I basically made like a helium beetle, and I call him a helium. And that was the origin of Wakko. What about you guys? How did you...
Sexual helium.
Yeah, sexual helium.
Sexual healing, nice.
Well, I have been in Tiny Toon Adventures.
Tress is
Babs
bad.
Bunny, ladies and gentlemen, Babs Bunny.
You like my ears there? Up and down. And so, which was Steven Spielberg's first foray into animation. As far as I'm fairly certain.
Yeah.
So he was favorably disposed toward me. And that was very nice. And Andrea Romano was also the director on that show. And so I feel that the role of Dot was custom made for me.
Yeah.
And, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, actually, in my career.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be able to work with these guys. No, I'm serious. No, I mean...
And she's done quite a lot of work, folks, so that's...
Yes.
We got you were
forced me out of my home.
You were Gadget on Rescue Rangers. No, Gadget.
Yes, I'm Chip and
Chip on
and
Rescue
Dale, and
Rangers,
Chip
yeah.
and Gadget and
If you haven't yet done it, go on IMDb when you got some time on your hands and you'll figure it out.
Rescue Rangers away! Your parents know that one. But, Gadget, I meant to make up a demo reel once of her saying what she primarily said in every show, and that was, "Mommy, are you all right?"
No,
As opposed to my role in Batman where I said, "My baby! My baby!"
We this really has been an amazing run, not only for the show, but to have this renaissance years later. And I remember when we were doing callbacks to the show, it was about a 2-month audition, right? It was a pretty long audition. Tress and I called each other every time we'd have a callback. Like, what do you think? Did you get it? Oh, I don't know. I think I can. So, as it happened, all the stars really kind of aligned for all of us. And there were several times that I would look at Tress and say, Jesus God, you know, you've got to take a picture of this because this is as good as it gets. And then I said, unless of course you're on The Simpsons, which she has been for 500 episodes.
Yeah, 550.
Right? 550 episodes.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably not in 50 of them, but I'm probably in 500.
Yeah, so we are the greatest thing, the cool thing about Animaniacs though is it ticks all the boxes. It's musically amazing. It was done in the style of the old Looney Tunes with a full orchestra. You got incredible actors, incredible writers. Everybody won Emmys and Annies, and oh my God, it really was a special thing. So
And Peabody's.
And
You know, I found
Peabody's,
my Peabody the other day. I decided I should break that thing out. That's in a box somewhere.
You should wear it as an earring.
And I was going to wear it, you know,
Like a
big
Mr.
old
T
change,
medallion.
like Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
And people just say, hey, what's that? And I go,
Yeah. Oh, that's my Peabody,
that's
Sherman.
my Peabody.
Yo, that's my Peabody. You know what I'm talking about.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
And let me just say too, because they're being very modest, when that show was being done, it was on the heels of Tiny Toons, and Steven Spielberg was the executive producer. They auditioned everybody in Hollywood, all the A-list people were auditioned, and these are the people who got the parts. They were the best. And it was good for, let me tell you, I'm on the writing side, writing scripts and writing music, and it's only, our stuff is only as good as the people who can perform it, so I'm blessed every day when I would go to recordings with people like Maurice and Jess and Tress and Rob, that we had people who were so brilliant, would make us look good. So thank you, you guys.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Hello, nurse. What do you have to say today?
Hello, nurse.
Is that photo op? I remember you.
Yeah.
How you doing, Ed?
I got two questions. One, Maurice, what's your IQ?
Wow.
151.
Wow, no.
Nice. Second, Rob, remember the episode where where the pilgrim goes, shut up and give me the bird? Have you ever gotten any artwork of Wakko,
Yakko.
giving the pilgrim the bird? Have you ever gotten any?
Actually, I believe I do. I think I have that. What was that name? That was the Thanksgiving episode, right?
Yeah, I think so.
What was it? Do you remember the name of the show? Yeah, it was Miles. That was
Oh, my BT pajamas, I loved him so.
That was Maurice LaMarche doing Miles Standish as Richard Burton.
Yeah, and I said I'm flipping him the bird, right? I'm giving him the bird.
Yeah, I actually did draw you.
Oh my God! How about that?
Bring that up. Bring it up.
So you're giving me the bird? Jesus. Thank you, honey.
Oh, you're
Wow. That's me. Nice work. This will be on eBay in 5 minutes.
Thank you, sweetie. That's very nice. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, that's the guy with the coat. I still love your coat, dude. You're like Ozzy Osbourne at the Comic-Con.
Real quickly, to Jeff, I checked for you and we still don't have it.
On the coat?
But if you're still interested, talk to me later.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, we'll make a deal.
Okay.
Talking about that.
Okay. My question is for Monsieur Rogel.
Nice. Very continental.
You've written so many memorable songs for the show.
The best.
Was there ever any songs that were like rejected or something that they weren't interested in?
Oddly enough, Randy, you just
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know if you remember like 10 Last Nights, Rob and I did some of the music from Animaniacs, and I actually played a song that I'd written and then it wasn't used. Actually, I have quite a few, and Rob and I were talking about when we do the show, maybe showing you guys the songs that didn't make it onto Animaniacs, which I thought should have, because I thought they were all brilliant songs.
Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. I mean, and you know, the subtle little things like last night when Tress was singing "I'm Cute," that Randy turns a phrase so beautifully when she's talking about, if you recall the cartoon, there's a caricature of Dudley Moore, and she says, "I'm sweet and I'm cuddly, or I'm cute and I'm cuddly and sweet just like Dudley, but more." It's a chore. Now, that's just great shit. I don't care how you slice it. It's cartoon Sondheim. It really is. It really is. It's brilliant, and he does it all the time.
All day long.
So yeah, we could do an hour of songs that were never used that are miraculous.
That might be fun too.
Yeah.
Real quickly for you four, was there any ad-libbing involved? And if so, would each of you guys list your favorite ad-lib moments?
I stuck to the script, and I pretty much do that across the board. I have such respect for writers because it's something I cannot do. I can't discipline myself to do it. I have no sense of story. So when I get a script, I just stick with the words on the page. So I didn't play around with it too much. The words are already brilliant. The story's already great. You know, that goes for Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, Futurama, The Critic. I mean, I've gotten to work on some of the, and Tress and I have been on all those shows together. I've got to work on some of the best written animation.
Yeah,
in television.
I don't like to disrespect the writers. I mean, you can sass your line a particular way and give it the proper reading and make it your own within the way it's written, you know. And
well, yeah, and you also have. As a matter of fact, forgive me, but Mike Reese just came in, and Mike is one of the premier animation writers in the history of the media.
Yeah, Mike Reese
really is
co-creator of The Critic and one of the showrunners on The Simpsons, and then a consulting producer.
Mike Reese, you are a genius, Mike Reese.
He is, and that's exactly what these folks are speaking to. We have the same circumstance in Animaniacs and a lot of other shows we've been fortunate to work. But when you have people like that who are not only trained in their discipline, but it's right there on the page, and we read the scripts and we laugh out loud. You know, if it ain't broke, right? Having said that, what also happens is when they write stuff like that, they inspire people who are thinking to go, oh my God, I've got this, and it just is this cool confluence of energy, and honestly, it just ends up being a mutual admiration society, which makes the whole thing better and ends up on the screen.
And the writers end up writing toward your story.
Toward your style and your
skill. And so they kind of
great stuff.
write it for you.
The simplest thing I can say about that question, bro, is that, you know, we're all really blessed. We get to work on a lot of programs, and sometimes you ad-lib your butt off because it's not that funny.
Yeah.
You're trying to help make it funnier, and you know, you get a pretty good sense after you've done this for a while when something might need a stronger joke or something funnier. With Animaniacs, I don't think we ad-libbed much, and the reason for that was simple, and that's because the scripts were so freaking good that, you know, we were like, okay, this is all good. It's like Tress said, we would put a spin on lines, but they were already on the page. We didn't have to worry about it too much. You know what I mean?
A lot of ad-libbing in between.
Oh my gosh!
Oh man!
But it's only a 22-minute show.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Exactly. Yeah,
Thank you.
The outtakes were
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Mike.
Wow, I wasn't talking to you.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, nurse.
Hello. Hi. When I was younger, my dad introduced me to Animaniacs, and I said I didn't know what it was, and he just embarrassed him.
We still don't know what it is either.
Maybe we are dogs. Dogs. Like, you know, he like failed as a father at that moment, and the very first thing he showed me was Nations of the World.
Oh.
And that was the best thing that I ever had in my whole entire life. Like,
Yeah, honey, you gotta aim higher than that. The best thing that ever happened to you was when you were a kid, sweetheart. It gets way better, really.
The song was the best one.
Well, that's Mr. Rogel again, and forgive me for interrupting, but that comes up a lot, and you know, because I was lucky to sing this. There are a zillion great singers in Los Angeles. It's Los Angeles, for God's sake, right? But there aren't very many people who can craft a song that fits together so seamlessly, right?
This is Rob Paulsen, my agent.
That really is the secret. It's the song. It's not false modesty. I'm a good singer. I'm good at my job. I ought to be. They pay me well, and I've been doing this a long time. But it's about the way that song was put together. That's why it works.
And I guess my question is, and I know this has been asked a lot, how many times did it take to make that song perfect?
Wow, that's a great question.
He did it.
He got it on the first
And
take.
that's a fact.
He did it in one take.
He did that song in one take. And then he left the room, which was so typical. And we said, no, honey, just in case, we better, you know, do a safety, you know. But he did do it in one take.
One take, and you just.
But I didn't do it in one take. I mean, I had a few days to rehearse it, so it wasn't like
Oh,
I just
well,
walked
in that
out.
case.
Thank you for asking. How many takes? I'm sorry. One? Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Like 37.
Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate that.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Hi.
My question is actually for Maurice. I wanted to ask about your work on Futurama.
Yeah, baby.
All right. This is all right. Go ahead.
I didn't know before I came to the con how many voices you did on the show, and it kind of blew my mind. How did you get into cast for doing all those voices on the show?
I think I owe a lot to Billy West. I think he made a big recommendation for me. Those guys. I had done a couple of Simpsons episodes, and I know that
they knew and liked him.
The folks there liked me already.
And the critic.
I feel so strange talking about Futurama on an Animaniacs panel. I don't want to.
But it's a brilliant show. One of my favorite shows.
But
I don't mind.
I am.
I know it's.
Thank you, Mother.
I just really wanted to ask.
No. So I auditioned as I did for. As we all do. We very, it's not like the film world where we just get offers. We go in for just about everything. And it's you can't do what Shelley Winters did. I can't walk into an audition and reach into a shopping bag and pull out an Emmy and another Emmy and go, there's my audition, which is what she did for Poseidon Adventure. She pulled out her 2 Oscars. That was what she did. They called her in for audition for Poseidon Adventure. She pulled out 2 Oscars and went, there's my audition, okay? And then went home, and of course they cast her and she was nominated again. But in our business, it's, they really want to hear you and what you can do in the booth. Billy, gave them my name, and I had done a good audition, but he said, if you want another utility voice guy in this thing, a guy who can do anything, it's Maurice LaMarche. So I got to go in and work my way into a couple of the main characters, like Kif. Kif became, more than a one-note thing, and he became kind of a sensitive romantic, and so there was a lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah, and clearly.
But the person who does the most voices on Futurama is actually sitting on this panel.
That's right.
Tress MacNeille does more characters than Billy West, more characters than I. She has the most characters on the show.
And obviously, Billy's suggestion had merit because Mr. LaMarche won not 1 but 2 back-to-back primetime Emmys.
Oh,
And Rob being the first in the voiceover community to win a primetime voiceover Emmy.
Yep. Blazing the trail, my
In our community, amongst the people who do this. Our people.
Thank you for talking about our people. Thank you, sweetie.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Hi.
Hello. Lower that mic for her. Somebody lower that mic for her.
Hello. Let's see, now we're. I think my question is for Randy, but I'm not 100% sure. I was watching the theme song or the show recently, and I noticed that one of the lines in the theme song had changed from when Clinton plays the sax to "We pay a lot of income tax." Was there kind of a reason for that? Because I was really enjoying watching.
It was true. Well, the main title theme was written by Richard Stone, the late great Richard Stone, who was basically Carl Stalling reincarnated. And then the showrunner Tom Ruger, and I think they left that open, which I think kind of, like that brilliant, the Simpsons with the couch gag. Every time it's something different in the main title, I think they probably invented that.
Yeah.
So we would, Animaniacs, and totally insane, and then they would cut, she would go Eisenhower Maney, or whatever would rhyme with it. So that's how that came to be. So they had a bunch of different lines in there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Okay, now fix the mic for yourself up.
Hey, buddy.
There you go.
Fiddle with the mic. Hi.
Question for everybody, including Mr. Rogel, if you like. What's the most disgusting noise you can make on command?
You gotta buy us a drink first, man.
I defer to these people.
2 more double margaritas and Tress will start making all sorts of fascinating.
Don't get me started.
I have to say that I think pretty much all of us would have to defer to Mr. LaMarche, respectfully.
Yeah.
None of us can make.
He does that for us.
He gets paid for disgusting noises.
Yeah, the only sound I can make more disgusting than the sound I made for you earlier is when I just go on and on and on about myself. So, question answered.
Church.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. How you doing? Hi.
I'm alright. Question for all of you, actually. I've always liked the music from the Animaniacs, So basically, going down the line, what's some of your favorite songs from the show?
Want to start on my side? Well, it is truly an
Say
embarrassment of
it.
riches.
I would probably have to say Yakko's World.
Yeah.
Myself.
Thank you. If I have to choose one, I'll pick that. Okay, Tress, your turn.
Well, I do like I'm Cute because it was a custom written for me, and I did like LA Dot Randy.
Yeah.
But I like the first version first.
How about those two versions, right?
The two versions, which the first of which I had never heard until last night, and I'm mad because it's such a blast to sing together. But you know, when we did a couple, 2, 3 albums, right?
We did, I think, 2 or 3 CDs.
Yeah, and We So Good.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought the song where we sounded really, really tight was Magellan.
Oh yeah, that was
yeah, our harmonies were so good.
Farewell, Magellan.
It's kind of cool, man.
It was kind of cool also when they would. I think that was I think written by, wasn't that?
It was John McCann.
John McCann, and
Steve and Julie,
right, and every now and then they would take and extrapolate sort of something out of a Gilbert and Sullivan thing. So we did,
I am the very model of a cartoon individual. My animation's comical, unusual, and whimsical.
Now that was pretty cool as well to use in that context. So those are all fun. Yeah.
I gotta go with Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
Because, even though it's long, when it ends, you're like, wow, that was awesome. For me, it's gotta be Wakko's America. And listen, well, I also, obviously, my first favorite one is probably Yakko's World because it's such an achievement. And I'm so proud of Rob every time he does it. But I love Wakko's America because not only was it like, my solo album, which was kind of cool, but I learned my geography,
Yeah.
Because, dude, I didn't know anything.
People learn shit. It's great.
And now, dude, seriously, I'm like Rain Man because people go, what's the capital of Pennsylvania? I'm like, yeah, definitely Harrisburg. Because of the song. So it's like, that's my favorite. So thanks, Rand. If you had gotten that to me earlier, I would have passed high school. It would have been great.
You could make something of yourself.
I could make one of these days.
You still get your GED, buddy.
Just hang in there. I'm telling you. Big mistake.
Well, I was gonna say I only got one song, but there was actually one all singing episode for Brain Opera, and so I got to sing a bunch of Frank Sinatra songs as the Brain.
And that was Tom Minton, I think, that did those.
Minton did that. Minton wrote my list song, which is the parts of the brain. So and that one was a lot of fun for me.
I was education.
Yeah, for me,
I like education. I've had a lot of medical students and people in the sciences say that song helped them memorize parts of the brain for their biology tests.
I don't know if that's an entirely fair question to ask these folks with me sitting here, because, I wrote a lot of songs. But I would give the Steven Spielberg answer when they ask him, what's your favorite film? It's like asking me which of my children I love the most.
Fair enough.
So which one?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
How's it going, man?
Hi there, guys.
Fine, thank you.
What I wanted to ask is, as voice actors, what do you do to prep when you're creating a new voice?
Stay sober-ish.
Vodka or scotch?
Right. A see-through, I think, is probably best.
Yeah. It's like any other acting job to me. Most of us have done live action theater, all that stuff. That's virtually all how we got our starts on stage doing live stuff. And in terms of, it's a little more on the fly unless you're a cast member from the get-go. So we all we generally get input from writers, producers. We get model sheets of the characters. Often we get them a few days, maybe a week before, so we can come up with some ideas. But in large part, a lot of the shows that I've worked on, including Animaniacs, things morph a little bit.
Yeah.
When I first Pinky and the Brain, as a matter of fact, the first few episodes of Pinky and the Brain. Pinky was, forgive my voice is going a little bit, but he was more down here, oh, think so, right? La 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 la. And then as he morphed, it was more up here, it's a little cuter, because that's the way people liked it, and the writers liked it, and Mr. Spielberg would like it, so
I call him Steven.
Yeah.
Yakko Dot spoke Farsi for the first couple episodes.
Yeah.
They don't air those a lot, but they changed. Great.
Well, a lot of times you're given guidance. Well, not a lot of times, but sometimes you are given guidance in the booth as to how you might tweak a voice one way or the other. Sometimes they have a prototype in mind, and you want to honor that. But for the most part, it seems to me that since people write for us, the writers and producers kind of custom write for us. We know what to do by reading the script. I mean, we know pretty much what they have in mind, even if they haven't told us.
And in terms of like preparing a new voice for an audition or something like that, or even sometimes if you're on a show and already playing one character, they'll throw something else at you. And you try to kind of look at what kind of guy it is. Like, does it say he's belligerent? Does he say he's the boss, he's in charge, he's barking out orders? Is he a little guy? Is he a big guy? What does he look like? If they can show us pictures, I wonder if it works the same way for you guys. If I can read all the description in the world, but when they actually show me a picture of the character, then I'm like, oh yeah, it's that guy. And by now we've been doing it for so long that again, it's just sort of like Rayman. You're like, yeah, definitely voice 762. Gotta do that.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how many times they don't tell you how old a character they want, and it's just like, is it male? Is it female? How old? How old? Boy, girl?
It's like giving us crayons.
12?
Crayons, you give us the prettier the picture will be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's very important.
And then if you're Maurice, it just doesn't matter because he's a genius.
Yeah, and he's going to do it any way he wants anyway.
I sacrifice a she-goat.
He does, and if you see his refrigerator, it's really amazing. At home, he's got a little yellow.
That's some good sheep.
Yeah, he's got a little Post-it note on his refrigerator that says Thursday nights are always satanic sacrifice. Bring goat. Repeating. Thank you.
Thanks.
I just have one more question for you. As a fellow musician and songwriter, what was it like knowing that you were trying to create something similar to the classic Looney Tunes sound when you were doing the Animaniacs?
Great question.
Yeah, actually, I wasn't trying to do that. I would just write the best song I could. I would do a little bit of writing, but that would then go to the Warner Brothers Orchestra. In fact, in those days, before Pro Tools, I just had I had a piano in my office at Warner Brothers, and I would press the play record button on that little tape, and I would play it in there, send a sort of basic lead sheet over, and then it would come back with It's all Richard Stone and Stephen Julie Bernstein, Gordon Goodwin. These are all great. Gordon he won the Grammy for The Incredibles. All really fantastic musicians. And by the way, it was a real a treat for me. Did any of you ever go to the sound stage to watch them record?
Oh yeah, that was real.
Because these musicians there are the best in the world, and they can read notes off a page faster than you can read words.
Crazy.
That's the most fun you can have in animation, in my experience, was going to those scoring sessions.
Oh. And they even used the same piano that Carl Stalling used and Milt Franklin used to do.
Same piano, same studio,
same stage.
The exact same acoustics as were recorded for the 1940s and 1950s Bugs Bunny cartoons. 35-piece orchestra, almost all of them from the LA Philharmonic.
And to tell you how different it is now you can use synths and Pro Tools and mock something up. Like I told you before, I would just play something on the piano and send it over. Now you have to add, woodwind sections and brass section, all. But back in those days, we would write it all. We would lay down a scratch vocal, and then we'd go to these guys. They'd come in and they would record it, so we had their performance. Then that would go get animated, and when it came back, we would go into the sound stage. All these musicians would walk and look at their music, and to that point, nobody knew what it was going to sound like. When the baton dropped, the music was born at the podium. That's the first time you ever heard what it was going to sound like. So Rich would sit there and just say, "Okay, on the piccolo, I need you to drop it, on the semitone." Like, Jesus Christ, these guys were brilliant musicians. It was a real joy.
Crazy, to watch them. It's such a delight to watch because you'd be watching the picture. They'd be playing to the picture, and you'd see like eyes blinking, blink, blink, blink.
Yeah, but it's all charted. That's what's so miraculous, is that Richard, like Tress was saying, Yakko would raise his eyebrow at some lascivious joke, and, the first violin guy would go, beep, right? Or, they're chasing, Ralph Lagarde is chasing the Warners up the water tower, and so the xylophone guy, Mike, the percussionist, but they're like 64th notes, which were charted. And Richard, like, God bless Richard Stone. We just love that man. And he was just like virtually everybody involved with the show. You'd chat with him, and were it not for the fact that he would tell you who he was ultimately if you'd ask him, you'd think the guy was, you know, your plumber. Completely devoid of pretense, and absolutely giftedly brilliant.
And very low-rising pants in the back.
And you know what's crazy is all those...
He was a very dapper man.
All those musicians who played on the Animaniacs sessions are now in One Direction, which I think is terrific. But it ended up that they're all out there doing that. It's fantastic.
Thanks for your question, man. Appreciate it.
Lastly, I just want to say that you were funny when I was 8 and still hilarious when I'm 25.
God bless you. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
That'll change.
Just so you guys know, standing in line, I just don't want you to stand there the whole time. We're trying to make it to Santa. He might be the end. So those of you in line.
Yeah, because if you piss off Santa, it's going to be a bad Christmas.
I'm really sorry, but we're just going to run out of time because we're trying to leave a little
But
surprise.
if you got questions, we're going to be signing stuff again after this. So you can come and talk to us.
Come to the signing session right after.
Look, it's Pee Wee Herman in the back of the line.
We're trying to get a surprise. That's why we want to cut it. So go ahead.
Oh yeah, we got a couple surprises for you.
Oh, okay. Right.
Santa, be careful walking your sleigh. You're going to get the shit beat out of you.
Where? Okay.
Dude, where's my reindeer?
Yeah. Dude, where's my sleigh? Hi.
All right, go ahead.
Hello. You guys are absolutely hysterical. I just
Thank
wanted
you,
to say
sweetheart.
that. And all of you are behind, excuse me, a lot of the TV shows I grew up with, and that was a really good bonding experience for my family and I. And yeah, and I just wanted to ask if there was a favorite kind of bit that you had that in the show, like.
Well, not this bit right here. Stop that, is it? Yeah, that's pretty good.
like a favorite episode or something.
Favorite episode.
I was always fascinated when we were in the water tower.
What's
I
really
liked it
going
in
on?
there.
One of my favorite episodes, man. I mean, I love Potty Emergency. Everybody likes that one. But you know which one was great? Do you guys remember Clowning Out, where Wakko was scared of the clown? Clowning Out.
Paul Rudd plays the clown.
Oh my! Go away, Mr. Clown Man. You scare me. It was such.
Kids are scared of
Scared of clowns. And I happened to watch it again recently. I'm like, you know what? That's just funny, man. It's really good, man. So that's my favorite. What about you guys?
I like the one that was kind of a knockoff of Heart of Darkness or Apocalypse Now, right? And Jeff Bennett played the Dennis Hopper part from Apocalypse.
Freaking me out with your incredible cuteness.
They're freaking me out with their incredible cuteness, man.
With the thing of cute, man.
Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff that would
I
happen.
couldn't help it.
Yeah.
It's one of my talents.
Just crazy stuff like that, you know. And then who was it? They got to the sort of what's his name? They got to the hell's that? The Marlon Brando character. Who was that? Was it Maurice?
No, it was Paul Rudd doing Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis.
That's Mr. Director.
We're using words like lugubrious.
Yeah, lugubrious.
But yeah, I love that. That was a great one. I mean, there was the big rap party, the Warner's 50th anniversary special, all that, with all that sort of old Jewish comedians that they would interview. Yeah, it was great stuff.
And there was one more thing I was going to say, because my dad is a huge fan of Rush Limbaugh.
Oh yeah.
And so whenever he's listening to it, I'll go, "Hey, why don't you kids go bother Rush Limbaugh?"
Well, then of course in every episode, Brain would ask me the following question. Right.
Pinky, are you pondering what I'm pondering?
I think so, but if Jimmy cracks code and nobody cares, why does he keep doing it?
That's our favorite one.
It's Kismet.
My favorite one was, I think so, Brain, but how are we going to get the dwarf to sit still?
The eternal question.
Was there a snake in the
All right, I just got a 10-minute warning sign. Is that right?
Oh, we can do it long.
Really?
We can do it long.
I didn't know we had 10 minutes. Well,
Sorry,
I didn't get to answer.
My bad.
And it's an Animaniacs episode, Hooked on a Ceiling.
Oh yeah.
Because he played Kirk Douglas.
Yeah, you played Michelangelo as Kirk Douglas.
Do it, Mo.
Do it.
What have you done to my ceiling? Evidence will be here in a minute. I just love the idea that we took a part played by Charlton Heston, and then made it Kirk Douglas. It's like, you just do the obvious and have me do Charlton Heston. They went, okay, now let's go, let's parody it again.
Yeah, but they had, but
parody
what's
on a
cool
parody.
is that Maurice was smart enough to do Kirk Douglas, who played Vincent Van Gogh in Lust for Life, in a movie about the Sistine Chapel. I mean, it's so great. It's just cool stuff with virtually no chemical inducement. Next question.
That's my favorite Animaniacs.
All right,
Thank you.
Do you want to continue with questions? We have a surprise. Jess wants to do something real quick, and then we were going to give you a treat to end it. Sorry, guys.
He's right up to the mic. Let him ask his question.
All right, everyone behind the guy with the mic, go ahead and sit down.
This question is interrupted.
Sorry, guys, we love you, man.
Love you.
But we're gonna try to make it up
Go
to
ahead,
you.
really quick, go.
All right, really quick. This is for like Rob, Maurice. How, like, when the Pinky and the Brain first started, how did you figure out how to play off of one each other? One each other.
Well, it wasn't a figuring so much as just going by feel. We'd worked together a few times, and we discovered we had this sort of simpatico with each other. We both were big Monty Python fans, both big Peter Cook, Dudley Moore fans. So we just found that we just had a give and take and a listening to each other that worked very well for these two characters. So for me, it was effortless. I didn't have to, it was just being in sync with him.
Right.
And so it was almost without work.
Yes, and the fact of the matter is, I love you, Brain.
Yes, I tolerate you too.
So listen, a couple of quick surprises. First of all, one of the things that's so cool about coming here is all the effort that you guys put into your costumes and your looks, and you look amazing, and we get such a joy out of seeing everybody. But there were 3 people who came online. Does everybody have your phone cameras and stuff ready? Because this might be a good photo op for you, so if you don't have it on, get it out. There were 3 people who came out online earlier when we were here, and they just looked so cool, and we said, well, you know what? We got to get a picture, and why not do it in front of hundreds of our closest friends? So Chi and Carrie and Andre, I think those are your names, right? Come on up here, and guys, get on the camera, and we'll stand up, and we got to get a quick picture, and then we got another little surprise. Oh, yes!
Yeah, that's the problem with you don't have a bright ass light.
Oh God,
These are homemade costumes. Look at that.
Homemade costumes.
Shoot!
Oh, wait, I'm in the witness protection program.
I forgot to mention I have a disease that's not epilepsy, but it's kind of like it, and so all those flash bulbs are.
Give it up for Chi, Carrie, and Andre, you guys, come on. And now look, because we have Randy Rogel here, Randy, will you get behind the keyboard real quick? We were gonna do more, but I think we only have time for 2 songs. Right, 2 songs. And one of them, we'll close with a different song, but we gotta do, Rob, would you mind doing your song for everybody?
It's always a good review. It's a good review, people.
You know, if you...
So return to your desks.
Can I tell you very quickly, there's a great little story about... We're doing Yakko's World, right? Okay. Well, there's a great little story about this very quickly. Randy and I don't know if you were there, but when we were premiering Animaniacs at MomoCon in like July of 1993, just before the show premiered, they played Yakko's World with the cartoon and Yakko dancing. Really a brilliant little 2-minute piece of cartoon. And there was a woman in the front row. We were taking questions like this. She was dressed, Patti LaBelle as a Klingon, which is kind of redundant. And so she stuck her head, she said, I have a question for Mr. Paulsen. Did you improvise that song?
That's good.
And I said, baby, I'm good, but I'm not that good. I said, but as a matter of fact, I did, and I wish I could stay and do another one, but I got to go record a song about everybody who's ever played Major League Baseball. So no, I did not, because I didn't have to, because I had a genius like Randy Rogel, who came up with this. Yeah.
Are you ready, Mr. Paulsen?
Yes, I'm ready, Mr. Rogel. And I know all of you know the song, so just sing it. And it goes something like this. United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic, Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too.
Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, and Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, Costa Rica, Belize, Nicaragua, Bermuda, Bahamas, Tobago, San Juan, Paraguay, Uruguay, Suriname, and French Guiana, Barbados, and Guam. Norway and Sweden and Iceland and Finland and Germany now in peace. Switzerland, Austria, Czechoslovakia, Italy, Turkey and Greece. Poland, Romania, Scotland, Albania, Ireland, Russia, Oman, Bulgaria, Saudi Arabia, Hungary, Cyprus, Iraq and Iran. There's Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, both Yemen, Kuwait and Bahrain. The Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium and Portugal, France and Denmark and Spain. India, Pakistan, Burma, Afghanistan, Thailand, Nepal and Bhutan, Cambodia, Malaysia, then Bangladesh, Asia and China, Korea, Japan, Mongolia, Laos and Tibet, Indonesia, the Philippine Islands, Taiwan, Sri Lanka, New Guinea, Sumatra, New Zealand, and Borneo and Vietnam, Tunisia, Morocco, Uganda, Angola, Zimbabwe, Djibouti, Botswana, Mozambique, Zambia, Swaziland, Gambia, Guinea, Algeria, Ghana.
We're running out of time, so you're gonna have to speed it up.
Burundi, Lesotho, and Malawi, Togo, the Spanish Sahara is gone. Niger, Nigeria, Chad, Liberia, Egypt, and Gabon, Tanzania, Somalia, Kenya, Mali, Sierra Leone, and Algeria. Dahomey, Namibia, Senegal, Libya, Cameroon, Congo, Zaire, Ethiopia, Guinea, Bissau, Madagascar, Rwanda, Maya, and Cayman, Hong Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Yugoslavia, Korea, Mauritania, then Pennsylvania, Monaco, Liechtenstein, Malta, and Palestine, Fiji, Australia, Sudan.
Should end the show. How about if we send you off with the theme song?
One more song. One more song.
One more song.
Now you guys got to sing along with us. Y'all know the words to this, right? Come on, man.
Randy, you ready?
Stairway to Heaven. Let's go. I'm just kidding.
I'm just sitting here and look pretty.
Okay. Sit back and relax, come after you collapse. We're Animaniacs. Come join the Warner Brothers and the Warner Sister Dot. Just for fun we run around the Warner movie lots. They lock us in the tower whenever we get caught, but we break loose and bend the moose, and now you know the plot. We're Animaniacs. Dot is cute and Yakko yaks. Wakko bats away the snacks while Bill Clinton plays the sax. We're Animaniacs. Meet Mickey and the brain who want to rule the universe. Good feathers flock together, slap you ass up with their purse. But it chases Minnie while Rita sings the verse. The writers when we have no script by bother to rehearse. We're Animaniacs. We have paid or played contracts. We're taking to the max, there's baloney in our slacks. We're Animaniacs, totally insane.
Here's the show's name.
Animaniacs.
Thank you, folks. The Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain. They'll be signing autographs in 5 minutes. Head on down and come say hi.